Hello, good evening, and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation podcast live with me, your host, Owen David. Guys, it's New Year's Day. Happy New Year to all Rangers fans out there. I hope you're all doing really well tonight. Hope you've had a great day with your families, our friends, or whoever you've been with today. We've had Christmas Day Mark II here in the household. We've had my daughters went with me for Christmas Day because they were with their mum, because I am divorced, but they spent today here with me, and we've had Christmas Day Mark II, so proper Christmas dinner, everything today. And I've got to say, it's all got too much for some people. For some people, today has just all got too much, guys. Let me just show you. It's all got too much for that one over there. Look, there he is. I think it's just got too much. There he is, cuddling his teddy. There we go. Funny guys, funny. Welcome to everyone in the live chat who's already come in. Let me just sort this camera out again. There we go. Stephen Moorhead says Happy New Year. Philippe Clement speaks well when he's being interviewed. Lawrence Shankland would be a good signing for us. Lawrence Shankland will be a great signing, Stephen. Jimmy Duff, you beat me over from the Rabble, Owen. I'm glad about that because I'm doing the podcast, so I'm glad I beat you over. Blue Nose John, my good buddy Blue Nose John, who always has something fantastic to contribute as a channel member. Happy New Year, and all the teddy bears in the chat. John, Happy New Year to you and your family. Hey guys, oh Shadow, what you like? Fantastic to see Liz in the live chat up in Scotland. Fantastic. Happy Blue Year to you, Erin, and all the fellow Blue Noses. Arnie, Happy New Year, buddy. Pacer as well with the GB flag there. Need to dust ourselves down, straight back to it. 3 points tomorrow. And we are going to talk a little bit about that, Scott, in this pod today. Well, guys, it has been a great few days for the channel. We are currently running at over 4,000 subscribers. Well exceeded the target by the end of the year. Big plans coming up for the new year, guys. I've been talking to Laura Hatton again today, and also to the Ibrox channel, which is another podcast I've just found as well. Got some of those guys will be coming on. Ross Clark from Rabble as well is going to be coming on in the new year. So plenty of guests coming on to talk to you all about Rangers FC. Fantastic. Mr. Fox says Happy New Year. Fantastic. Evening all. Happy New Year, Bears, says RT72. Nicholas Moore, my good buddy Nicholas. How's South Wales this evening? Is it as rainy and wet as it here is in the Midlands of England? Happy New Year from South Wales Loyal. We've also got Andy McDonald says, Andy McDonald, what a question. I am going to talk about Cantwell tonight. So we'll get to that certainly tonight. Happy New Year, Bears and Bearettes, says Robert. David says Happy New Year. Pacer says we all get some cash from Cantwell. We could get some cash for Cantwell. Hello, Owen. Hey, David. How you doing, buddy? Aldo, good buddy, Aldo. Happy New Year, Bears. Please get Fabio start lol. Okay, so tomorrow night. No? Yes, tomorrow night. That's it. The boss is here, guys. The manager is here. As I always tell you, Glasgow Rangers Nation, big fan of Glasgow Rangers Nation, guys. Me and Philippe Clement like that. I keep him in head polish. Happy New Year, all best to 2024. Happy anniversary, bon anniversaire. Happy birthday, isn't it? Bon Annui, something like that. Philippe, Andy McDonald. Don't think Clement fancies Cantwell too much in this team. We are going to talk about Cantwell. Happy New Year from Scott. Life can be good. So still good. Rangers bottles went against them. So am I, buddy. So am I. Win tomorrow. Kilmarnock should be in good form. Win though. Right. So look, we're going into the game tomorrow. And guys, 69 people watching, please smash that like. As I said, as I said in the live chat at the start, just to get those comments up. Obviously, Happy New Year's, Bears. And also please remember to smash the like. And if you haven't yet subbed to the channel, Glasgow Rangers Nation, your daily free channel, please do so. Okay, guys, thank you so much for all your support to this point. Absolutely brilliant. Louise Wise. Louise, who always likes the tweets. An excellent Happy New Year, mate. Louise, how are you? Great to hear from you. Great to actually see you on the channel as well. Fantastic, Louise. Happy New Year. We are still winning this league, Scott. It's still all to play for, isn't it? But Cantwell stuff, he's off form. It's about it for me. Aldo says quickly, how can we beat our Betis away and lose to an average Celtic team? What a question. It does seem that we have a mental block, Aldo, when it comes to Celtic, doesn't it? League Cup in the cabinet, playing in Europe. Chill out. We're all chilled, Sid. We're good to go. Okay, so let's talk a little bit of the game tomorrow. So we go into the game against Killy tomorrow. Killy are not going to be an easy team to beat, are they? Let's face it. Look, Derek McInnes is going to have this lot bang up to bang up for this. Bang up for this game tomorrow, aren't they? They're coming off the back of 6 games unbeaten. They are 4th in the table. They're only 2 points behind Hearts. They've played 21 this season, won 8, lost 6, drawn 7, 23 goals for, 20 against. They don't score a great deal, but they don't concede a great deal either. So +3 goal difference. There is a real belief in the Kilmarnock team at the moment, which is really worrying, I think, going into this game. And he is talking up their chances. He's talking about the fact they have a better squad than last year. Look, Killy is not going to be easy. I'm sticking my neck out there and saying that it's a game we're going to have to raise our game for. And I think one of the worrying things for me is all the injuries that we are currently still sporting. Now, according to Philippe Clement, listening to him talking in that presser that he did post the Celtic game that was released today on Rangers TV, he talked about the fact that Sima is injured. So it looks like Sima will be missing for this game as well. So who starts in place of Sima? Realistically, you're looking at either Matondo, who's not in the best of form at the moment, maybe better off the bench. Scott Wright, who's more a right-sided player. Ross McCausland, does he need a rest? I mean, Ross, to me, look, I just want to address one thing when it comes to Ross McCausland. Okay, now, Ross is a young lad. He's 20 years old, right? He's just come into the team. Now, I know in football terms, 20 is not really that young. I understand that, guys. I get that. It's not that young. Because 20 in football terms, if you think about when players at 31, 32 are over the hill, which we've been told they are, but Ross McCausland, in terms of first-team experience, is very inexperienced. He's a very young player. He needs time. Yet, is he the finished article? He's nowhere near the finished article. He's good going forward. He's direct. He runs at players. He takes players on. He draws players in. He'll take a shot. That's great. The defensive side of the game, he still needs to badly work on. His tracking back is not good. His supporting his fullback is not good. I mean, if you look at the difference between him and Sima, for example, and I know Seema's a young player, but Seema's got a hell of a lot more experience of first-team football. So you look at how Seema tracks back and gets back to cover. It is really a situation that we need to look at. And I think, is it a time to rest Ross? But then if you rest Ross, who do you play? I think Ross has to start tomorrow. The options are just so lacking. Now, we saw Nicholas Raskin is back in training, but again, I think that tomorrow's game will come way too soon for Nicholas Raskin. So it again is going to be a team that is very similar in makeup, I think, to the team that started on Saturday against that lot, because there realistically is no other options. Like I said, Seema is out injured. What about Cyril Dessers? Well, God help us. Cyril Dessers is just awful. I'm going to tell you a story about that in a minute. Let's get back to some of your comments first before I ramble on for a bit longer. I'm over the loss at Saturday, but one thing that's still stuck in my head is why is the SFA aren't releasing the audio or meeting 4 days after the match? Geordie, that's a brilliant question. One of our channel members, Geordie, remember you can join the channel for 99p. You can support the channel as well with the super chat and the super sticker function. Why? I don't know, mate. It is a disgrace. It is an absolute damn disgrace. If you compare that with the EPL and the PGML in England, the PGMOL is the body that runs English referees. Howard Webb, former English referee, runs that organisation. There are no secrets down here. They are happy to release the VAR audio. They are quite content to release the VAR audio. It is not even open for debate. Now, he talks about it on Sky. Sky also have a show with refs mic'd up, and you can hear what the refs are talking about. There is no secrets up there. The EPL and the PGMOL work on the basis of nothing to hide. So the question does have to be asked. Yes, I know we're going over the New Year period, and I get that. But why is it that a massive organisation like the SFA cannot get their house in order enough to say, yep, there's the audio. We've got nothing to hide. There is nothing in there that we are ashamed of. There you go. Now, all they are doing is making themselves look guilty. Now, I have had an absolute slagging and shooing. I have deleted over 100 Celtic comments from this channel regarding that decision, that video that I made that got about 8.5k views the other day about the SFA. Look, I don't want to talk about this. Happy New Year, Peter. I don't want to talk about the penalty, right? We can talk all we want about the penalties, right? That is fine. We can talk about the fact, was it a penalty? Wasn't it a penalty? Whatever. We can discuss that till we're blue in the face, right? And it's done. It's dusted. It's not going to come back. The issue now for me is this, right? So this is the clear issue. And I spoke about this on the video yesterday and this morning. Why is it that when the decision was reviewed by VAR in the initial stages, did Willie Collum say that there was no clear and obvious error, that Alistair Johnson's hand was in a natural position, and Nick Walsh's decision on the field was correct? Okay, that's what he said, right? So that's what he said. Now, here's the argument. If it was off Alistair Johnson and out, it should have therefore been a corner, not a goal kick. However, then 40 minutes after that initial judgment is given out, allegedly, by Willie Collum, it comes out then on those stills, which are inaccurate stills, that Seamer was allegedly offside. But he can't be offside because he doesn't make a play for the ball. Therefore, he's not offside under the rules. But what the question is not about whether he was offside or not. Why did Willie Collum feel the need to go and look for something else to justify his decision not to give a penalty? Unless Willie Collum has watched that back and gone, oh, God, I've made a huge rick here. I need to find something to get me out of jail. Now, we all do it, guys. We know when we make a mistake, when we're caught out, we all will try and find a way to get around it, don't we? That is the way it works. But why did he, 40 minutes later, go and try and find something? Now, that would say that in the first instance, he has lied, and there is definitely a case to answer there. And that is the problem for me. Not that it is a penalty or not a penalty, because that doesn't matter now. The game's done and dusted. It ain't going to be replayed. We're not going to get a point. We're not going to get a chance to take a penalty. That's done and dusted. The issue for me is over the honesty of refereeing and over the use of VAR. Now, if you look over this weekend, the VAR has been disastrously used. Go and watch, if you haven't seen the Hearts game yet, go and watch Forest go round the goalkeeper, be dragged down by the goalkeeper, the VAR review come back and say that it was not a penalty and Forest should be booked for diving. Now, how that happened, I don't know. Now, look, even the most one-eyed Celtic fan, and that's the vast majority of them, must want some transparency from the SFA in terms of VAR being used correctly, because it could be them next time that is on the decision-making, the wrong end of a decision-making process. I know that's unlikely, but that's my problem with that decision. As Andy McDonald says, and I agree with you, Andy, as I said, it won't be an easy game tomorrow with the bodies we have. William says nobody will buy Cantwell. We are going to talk Cantwell. Kilmarnock informs his although they are in very good form at the moment. We see that. We seem to fear that mob. Let's rock Killy over the place. Life could be good, says 100%. Definitely too many bottlers in this team, says Robert Binney. It does seem, Robert, and I can't remember who else said it now. We do seem to have a real issue as regards Celtic. It seems that when we come up against them, there is a real lack of belief from our players to be able to overcome them. It is a mentality thing. It is a mentality issue. And if Philippe Clement is correct in talking about the fight back, there was a fight back there. But it was noticeable that Tavernier only really got forward and started to attack once Palmer went off. Palmer definitely forced him back. So look, there is an issue clearly there with overcoming them. And until we can overcome them and beat them, it is going to be a situation where is the league attainable? And look, the league isn't just going to come down to Old Firm games this season. Of course it isn't, because they're not good. We drop points against crap teams. They drop points against crap teams. Will they not drop any more points this season? Of course they'll drop more points this season. You know, there's every chance they will. They're not a good team. And as Heart and Hand said yesterday on their podcast, they said whoever wins this league will be the weakest champions in a long time since Ronnie Dahlia's Celtic. And I agree with that. These are two poor teams. The difference on Saturday was one had a decent striker and one didn't. You know, one had Kyogo who scored that. And whether you hate Kyogo or whatever you think of Kyogo, and I hate him personally, that was a great strike. Cyril Dessers is shocking. He had 18 touches when he should have had 3 at most. As I've banged on about repeated times now, as a striker, you control shoot or you control set shoot. You do not control dribble. Oh, shook, I can't get out of my feet. Oh, it's stuck. Oh, no. Oh, tackled. I've been tackled. I've lost the ball. So, look, Dessers will start tomorrow. Of course he will, because there's nobody else. Fabio Silva is unlikely to start tomorrow because Philippe Clement said that he hasn't trained with the team yet. We will review player availability, was something he talked about. That's just where we are. So, yeah, Cantwell is overrated. Sorry, but think he is, says Aldo. Like I said, we'll get to Cantwell. I'm getting there. First signing is Fabio Silva. Hopefully he will play tomorrow. I think he might be on the bench if he's involved, Peter. Kilmarnock, not so good on grass. True, Darren. Killy will be a difficult game, but they will be a very difficult game. Are we going to see Silva tomorrow? Anyone is better than Depressors. David, love that. Depressors, great. You got to be careful with that, though, mate. A little story on old Dessers, mate. I commented on a video on Jers TV on Facebook the other day that Dessers was shit and not fit to wear the shirt. I have since been banned from Jers TV because apparently you're not allowed to say anything nasty about our players. You can only say nice things about our players, apparently. Grow the fuck up. Sorry to swear. Cantwell, the new Kent. Sid, what's up with Seamer? Apparently with some sort of injury that he sustained yesterday during the game. I'm not quite sure what the issue is. I would happily take $1 million for Cantwell, says Andy McDonald. The team played scared at Porkhead. Embarrassing, to be honest. Players like Alberts, Gaza, Laudrup, Ferguson, Gorham, Goff all loved it. But saying that, it's a different era then. Aldo, you bring back a lot of memories. Bring back a lot of memories. Come on, Dundee outplayed Killy at the weekend and should have beaten them. True, Jimmy. Jimmy, the reason I'm saying this is you know as well as I know, buddy, it's Rangers. Do we ever do the ordinary? Do we ever do the simple? Do we ever turn up and just roll a team over like we're supposed to? And the fact we've got so many injuries, Jimmy, is the thing that does concern me. Owen, did you notice the ball seemed out of play for their corner? It was, John. If you go back and watch the stills and slow it down, the ball does go out. But unfortunately, VAR cannot check that. Cantwell is one of those players that some people don't take to. So when he's not playing well, the knives come out real quick, says David. Still 55 players not turning up against that mob. Good point. Ross Clark. Hey, Ross, how you doing, buddy? McCausland is nowhere near ready to play strings of games together in the first team. No kick the ball since Bettis away. Ross, you're right. But unfortunately, at this moment in time, he has to play because who else is that? There literally is no one else. Matondo is not in great form. Scott Wright said he just come back from injury. I think with the amount of injuries we're carrying, I think if Tom Lawrence was fit, I think if Danilo was fit, I don't think we see McCausland. I think you see him spelled. And I think that's a great point, Ross. For me, you've got to look at the way that teams like Manchester City, teams like Liverpool bring through young players. Liverpool, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, Phil Foden at Manchester City. Those Klopp and Pep Guardiola, I know you forgot his name there for a minute. They use them sparingly. They don't use them for big runs of game. They bring them on as a sub here. They start them there. They bring them on a sub. They don't play them there. And it brings the best out of them. I think young Ross is worryingly being overused, partly because of all the injuries we do seem to have at this moment in time. We seem to always lose to that mob when we have the most chances in the game. It basically shows what we need, a couple of good strikers. Scott Richard, you are spot on, buddy. We do need a couple of very good strikers because, look, at the end of the day, that was the difference. Our XG was actually higher in that game than Celtics. As Philippe Clement said in post-match, we created more chances than they did, better chances than they did. Difference being we had Dessers up front, they had Kyogo up front. Kyogo always scores against us. Dessers couldn't hit a cow's arse with a banjo. So, that's the difference. And Danilo's not fit. Fabio Silva may play, may not play tomorrow. Look, I don't want to keep banging on about this, and I'm guilty of becoming a broken record over this, but Lawrence Shankland, for me, is an absolute must. He is an absolute must. Now, there is a little bit of a concern over that. Now, I was reading today some reports, and I don't know how true these reports are, that the asking price for Shankland is $3 million, which to me is peanuts for a striker of his talents. But apparently, Rangers cannot afford that £3 million unless we sell players first, which to me is an utter disgrace. If that is the case, the board need to be asked big questions. I'm hoping it's just rumours. I'm hoping it's just paper talk. I really do hope it is. For me, Shankland would have scored both those chances Dessers had on Saturday, and we'd have won that game 3-2 or 4-2. Dessers is awful. He is genuinely not a good player. He's not a starter. You look up, he doesn't, I don't know what he does. He doesn't hold the ball up well. He doesn't head the ball well. He's got no pace. He doesn't understand the offside rule. I don't understand what he actually contributes to this team. And yes, he was getting those goals and starting to show a little bit. But for me, look, I don't know what he contributes. Really don't know what he contributes. Need a big response tomorrow after the Old Firm shambles, and that's what Nicholas. That's what Philippe Clement asked for in the press conference. He said a big reaction is needed, and he talked about wanting dirty shirts as well, which I think is all about effort and trying. Happy New Year, Ian and Glasgow Rangers Nation. All the best 2024. Teddy Beard, Happy New Year to you too, buddy. Sick of losing to them, gets me down. All of it really gets me down. I was in such a foul mood on Saturday. When I picked my daughter up, I was in a right bad mood. So who's our striker tomorrow? Dessers again. Yes, Scott, it will be, unfortunately, Dessers again. You throw any 20-year-old into the heat and they will crumble. Think Ross has played well since Clement came in, but he needs a rest now, which is what we're saying. He does need a rest. Scott says Dessers, Cantwell, Seamer all poor on Saturday. Seamer was poor on Saturday, but I honestly think with Seamer, he's been overplayed and he looks knackered as well. I think that, yes, Sid, that's a good point. I do think the issue we've got is the fact that this squad are tired. I think they've played a lot of football. I think the issue is we just don't have the players to rotate, and the players that have come back from injury are not fit. I don't think Lunny looked fit. I don't think Goldson looked fit. I don't think Scott Wright looks fit yet. I don't think Matondo looks fit yet. They lack match sharpness. I was listening to a guy called Stephen Elliott talk from Sunderland and Republic of Ireland international player talk. And he says it takes you 6 weeks to get your match sharpness back. 6 weeks to get your full match sharpness back and the match fitness back. He said you can do all the running, all the gym work, all the ball working training you want and feel as fit as a fiddle. He says, but it's not match sharpness. It's not match speed. And that's a completely different thing. And I think one issue for me is very much around the fact that this team are not match fit because of the fact that they are absolutely knackered, because of the fact that there is no squad. The squad is so thin. Now, is that down to the manager not rotating? Possibly, but do we have the players to rotate? I would have liked to have seen some of the young players get a chance. Bailey Rice, Cole McKinnon, those sort of guys come in and get an opportunity to play. Robbie Fraser, maybe. But, are you willing to throw those guys into the heat of a battle over Christmas? That's a good question. Certainly something, we'd have to look at. David P says, McCausland is a lot like our current first team. Is not the quality we want, but what we've got at the moment. Correct. McCausland's form has dipped, but he's still better than Scott Wright. True, but he needs a rest. He does need a rest. Matondo on the left, Seamer through the middle, Silva on the right. That's a decent shout, Pacer, but I don't think Seamer's fit, and I don't think he will play tomorrow. Clement will know now who has to go. I certainly hope, Aldo, that he does. And as Stephen Lenahan points out, Seamer is injured. Yeah, going back to that comment there, he will know. Hopefully now that assessment that he's been doing, that judgment that he's been doing over the last few weeks has very much, kind of settled in now. And he's clear that come January that he will move some on. And then by the end of the season, he will move some on. Here's a graphic for you to look at. These are the players who are out of contract at the end of this season. Okay, so these are the players that are out of contract at the end of this season. Here we go. So this is it. Right. So it is Abdallah Seamer obviously is going to be a loan return. I don't think we can afford him, with Brighton talking 10 to 15 million. There we go. Lundstrom is out of contract. Barisic is out of contract. Jack is out of contract. Roof is out of contract. Leon Balogun is out of contract. John McLaughlin is out of contract. And youth player Ben Williamson is out of contract. Okay, so how many of those players do you keep? Who do you keep? That's a question. That is the question. Who do you keep out of those players? For me, look, as much as I'd love to keep Abdallah Seamer, I just can't see him being affordable. Lunny, I think, will stay. I think Lunny will get a contract extension because Philippe Clement seems to like him and seems to rate him as a leader. Lunny's done well this season since Philippe Clement came in. He wasn't great on Saturday, but I don't think he was fully fit. So I don't think it's fair to judge him on that. Borner, I think, will move on. Ryan Jack, I just think, look, Ryan's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I like Ryan Jack. I'm a fan of Ryan Jack. And when he plays, everyone around him seems to look better. And Tav does as well, because Ryan Jack understands that if Tav goes bombing on, he drops in and covers for Tav. But Ryan Jack, the amount of injuries that man gets is insane. And then look, we've got a situation where we've got too many players sat in the stands on big wages. Him, Tom Lawrence, Kemar Roof. You cannot run a football club like that anymore. And as much as I would love Ryan Jack to stay and succeed, I just can't see it happening. Kemar Roof, I think it's time for him to go. He's just never fit. He's got to go. Leon Balogun, I think we saw Saturday. Look, he's done well so far, but he's 36 years old. He's not going to get any quicker. Maybe time for him to go as well. John McLaughlin, like I said, I forgot he was even at the club still. There we go. SFA are waiting because they're finding a way to cover it up, says RFC 72. Like I've just said, said at the start of the pod, RFC 72. Down here in England, there's no secrets. It's released like that. So what are they waiting for? What's wrong with Seamer not starting tomorrow? It's only a rumour, Sid, that he's injured. Philippe Clement said in the presser that the presser was released today that was done post-Celtic that he was taken off with an injury. So there's a good chance he will miss the game. McCausland will probably end up doing what King done last year. We'll probably end up not seeing much of him again. It will be every now and then. William, that's a good shout. Possible. I don't know if it was concussion or what it was. Although BBC, PLZ, soccer, SPFL channels, they all love Celtic, kiss their asses all the time. Absolutely. David, it was a Philippe Clement, like I said, that was the case. Silva recovered recently from a calf injury. The one thing about Silva was, like I said, that he did say in that presser that Silva has not trained with the first team yet and will have to look at player availability, was Philippe Clement's words. So that's an issue there. 120 people watching, guys. Thank you so much. 121 now. Please smash that like. And if you've not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Aldo, that is an amazing question. I don't know. I think part of it is because we get kicked all over the park. Impact injuries. We saw with Lunny, the impact injury. The muscle injuries, I don't know. Jimmy, I doubt they were all subscribed, buddy. McCausland not tracking looks so bad because Tav can't bloody defend properly. Andy, that's the thing. Tav, look, I'm going to have to be so careful here. I got absolutely crucified after the Old Firm game on Saturday for criticising Tav. Anybody would think I'd criticise God, Jesus, the King, my mother, and everyone else's mother the way I got slaughtered for this. Tav scored a great free kick. Don't get me wrong. 100%. Great free kick. But defensively was poor. Palmer had him on toast. And they attacked his side a lot on Saturday. He didn't go forward very well. His set-piece delivery was absolutely bloody awful on Saturday. It is a worry. And what I want to see from this team is we've become so predictable on set pieces, on corners, on free kicks. Everyone knows it's either a left-footed delivery from Borna or Ridvan or a right-footed delivery from Tav. There's no variance in set piece delivery. I want to see this team vary the set piece delivery. Are you telling me that Seamer, that Cantwell, that Dowell, that Nicholas Raskin can't take a free kick or can't take a corner? I'm sorry, but I'm sure they can. We need to see some variance. Welcome to Peter, who is a new member. Peter Gander, new member. Welcome along to the channel. See if it was vice versa and we 1-2-1, it'd be a different story. Test video says shout out to Rangers Rabble. Absolutely, shout out to Rangers Rabble. As I said at the start, right, test video. Let me just quickly try and find that comment that I wrote right at the start of this podcast. Way ago. Here we go. There we go. Like I said, hi everyone. Move the podcast back to 8:30 so as not to clash with Rabble. Us Rangers pods need to work together as one family. So yeah, test video. I'm 100% with you on that one. Shouting out to Rangers Rabble. Great podcast. Top podcast. Love it to bits. Absolutely superb. The Rabble is fantastic. You know, they do some fantastic content. I'd love to be able to get as many people as them on. That is my ambition one day, to have a number of podders on this channel. I'm working on it, talking to people. So look, it is coming, but it takes time. This channel was only set up on the 23rd of February this year, so it's still a very new channel. Just talk about the game tomorrow, new transfers, says William. 100%. Annie McDonald, welcome to the channel. Ross Clark, absolutely. Shout out to you too, buddy. Since Leeds chased Kamara for years, do you think they would take a punt on any of our current players? I don't know, Carl. I'm not a Leeds fan. I don't know. But Kamara is looking a bloody good player for them. My dad's a Leeds fan. Kamara's looking really good for them this season. Absolutely brilliant. He's apparently one of their best players this season. So there we go. Because they were trying to cover their own asses. Club at 22 and Rangers Radio. Pacer, I must say, Club at 22 is one of my favourite podcasts. I love Scott, I love Ali, love Scotia, love all the boys. They're absolutely brilliant. They're brilliant. End of the day, we lost because we ain't got the quality, especially in midfield up front. Let's have a look. One-eyed fans, that's why they always get the needle. Absolutely. Even Lennon said it was a penalty, 100%. Douglas McDonald had to stop refereeing for some. That was the guy, Scott. I couldn't remember the guy's name. Yeah, he had to stop for it, didn't he? Dessa should have been sold in August after the first few performances. That would have been the shortest career ever. Trust Clement, and he will now see why these players have seen away so many managers. Absolutely. RFC72 says, Galton and Tav, you've seen they were uncomfortable playing against them. How many times did they shank the ball out of the park? Missed the ball. How poor were they defending? Also agreed. To be honest, Rangers were riddled with injuries. We couldn't cope with the Celtic performance. We move on and forget about it because the SFA are not going to do anything. Pacer, 3 million for Shankland. Like I said earlier on the pod, I would pay the money. I'd pay the money. You know, if they want 3 million for him, pay it. Because I'll tell you something now. If we buy Lawrence Shankland in January, we will win the league this season. Why? Because of the fact, if you look, we create a lot of chances, but we just don't take them. We're not clinical enough in front of goal. I want to talk about Cantwell in a minute and how he has been not great this season. And I'm going to try and give a reasoned view on Cantwell on this one. So yeah, I would pay the money. Linda, good evening. Good evening to you. I do too. Hope Dessa's has the Duracell bunny behind him to change his batteries. David says, if the likes of Tav and Galton don't have belief they can beat the scum, having won the league, I'm not sure how we can change that. Agreed, David. The boss says, during the game, Cantwell had a chance to pass to Seaman on the attack, but yet again, he tried to do it all on his own. Terrible footwork. Yeah, absolutely. No, look, let's talk Todd Cantwell for a few minutes, shall we? 123 people watching. Please smash that sub. Remember, you can use Super Chat, Super Sticker to donate to the channel if you want to. Linda Ross, I'm not going to shout out that group. I am banned from them because of apparently on their channel, you're not allowed to say anything nasty about our players or criticize our players. You can only say nice things about them. That's because somebody needs to grow the fuck up. Anyway, during the game, Cantwell had a chance to pass to Seamer on the attack, but look, I've been a big Todd Cantwell fan, right? Todd Cantwell came in last season and was a breath of fresh air. And if you look at how he played at the end of last season, now I know there's the case of there was no pressure because the league had gone. Yes, the cup was gone after that semi-final, and there was no pressure on him. And I understand that. And he is a good player. He technically is a very good player. Technically and skill-wise, he's a very good player. But what frustrated the hell out of me on Saturday was the fact that he constantly overplayed. He didn't take simple options. He didn't take simple passes. He dallied on the ball too long. He tried too many tricks and flicks. Callum McGregor made him look like a mug on Saturday, and it shouldn't be that well. Callum McGregor is not even that good a player. Callum McGregor wasn't even the best midfielder on the park on Saturday, despite what Celtic fans will tell you. Dujon Sterling was. And I want to talk a little bit of Dujon today as well. But Cantwell, for me, has become increasingly frustrated, increasingly frustrating, should I say, in the way he performs. I honestly feel there is a breakdown between him and the manager in terms of performance and in terms of attitude. You've only got to look at how he was hooked against Aris after half an hour because of his performance then, that he wouldn't do as he was told. He wouldn't stay out on the right wing. Cantwell was frozen out at Norwich for a reason. You've got to kind of start to think that, is the problem the club that he was at, or is the problem Cantwell? Is Cantwell too much of an ego? That's a question you've got to ask. For me, Dowell has to start tomorrow night. Dowell looked better when he came on playing in that 10 role than, yes, I know he didn't play the ball across the Tav when he should have done, but to me, Dowell looked better in that 10 role than Cantwell did. I would start Dowell against Killy tomorrow night. I wouldn't start Cantwell. I think there is an issue between Cantwell and Clement. I don't think Clement likes him. I don't think Clement thinks he's a team player. Because if you listen to Clement, one of the things he wants from everyone is team player, team player, team player. And he ain't it. He ain't a team player. Now, today or yesterday or whenever it was, he gave that press conference. Philippe Clement said something really interesting to me. Not to me personally, but for what I interpret it as. He said this. He was asked about Dujon Sterling, and he said that Dujon has a great mindset. He has a very positive mindset. He will go out on the park. He will not play in his natural position. He will play wherever he's asked. He will do the job that's asked of him. And he said that's what he wants to see from all the players. And that's what he needs to see from all the players. Now, was that a thinly veiled swipe at Todd Cantwell, or am I putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5? I don't know. But there definitely seems to be a little bit of a breakdown between him and the manager. And I think Todd does need, someone to sit him down and just talk to him and say, look, Todd, this is not good enough what you're doing at the moment. You need to sort your attitude out or you're going to be gone from this club. You say you love this club. You say you love playing for us. You Todd the prod, all that. You need to get back to that. You need to listen to the manager and do what he asks. And if he asks you to play left wing, you play left wing. If he asks you to play in central midfield, you play in central midfield. If you ask you to play up front, you play up front. You do what you're told. And that's what we need from minute 1 with him. Need a goal scorer and not the crap we have now, says Scott. We do need a goal scorer. I'd genuinely stick 2 Duracells up his arse. Ross, that'll be hilarious, buddy. Cantwell and Lowry for Shankland. Good shout. We could actually offer them 3 million plus Cantwell, maybe. If we had a proper goal scorer the other day, we would have scored a couple. Yeah, RFC, that's what I said. If we had Lawrence Shankland, we win that game. Lawrence Shankland scores that goal. That where Dessers gets through on the goal, Shankland scores that. He scores it. Simple as. Not even a debate. Not even a debate. Hate places that dish out bans for opinions. Why follow? Can ram it as well, says David. Lost cause. We're not good enough, says George. Have faith, George. Have faith. Should Willie Collin be investigated and get fired? I think he should be. Pacer, good shout, buddy. Lovelace is returning. Yes, he will be back mid-January. That will be a great lift, I think. Especially as Zach looked fantastic against St Mirren, didn't he? Looked lively, got at them, caused them problems, ran at people. Looked a quality player. 134 people watching. Please smash that like and obviously sub to the channel. And if you want to obviously join the channel, please do so. If you want to donate to the channel, hit the super chat button for me. You're right, follow. Yeah, there's some people out there that really do need to grow up. Referees are bad in this league, though. They are absolutely... Lovelace, I think Lovelace will be still here, buddy. So Ross says, right, Dowell and Matondo will have offered as much as McCausland as the last about 4 games. Ross, look, I agree. I don't think I honestly do think Ross is being overplayed. I think he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but I do think he's been overplayed. Young players have to be used sparingly. You cannot use young players 10, 15 games in a row. It's just not possible. And like I said, if you want to know how to do it, look at Pep Guardiola, look at Jurgen Klopp, look at Mikel Arteta, look at how they use their young players. And there's a definite development there because they use them sparingly. So, yeah, I would hope tomorrow we see some sort of rotation as much as we can with the limited squad we've got. We're absolutely cursed. The injury players come back within a game or two. They're out for months again. Yeah, Philippe, absolutely. Tom Lawrence, for example. Need 5 players as well as Silva. Would play Silva in the 10 role behind a new striker. A right winger needed also. That's a really interesting shout, Scott. He can be used as a 10, a winger, and a 9. He can play in all those positions. He is multi-talented. And let's face it, this guy once cost £35 million, for God's sake. When was the last time Rangers had a £35 million player on the park for them? Good question. Good question. Lots of people talk about where they got barred from. Yes, he is going to leave Fenerbahce, although don't want him back here, though. Never like Cantwell. Clement saying all the players show quality is beyond me. What game was he watching? Brian Emerson, I think the issue there is he can't come out and throw anyone under the bus. Just can't do it. I'd be very surprised if he said the same thing behind closed doors. One thing you, as a manager, you do is I think the problem is Michael Beale was a gobshite. That's the problem. Michael Beale is a gobshite. He came out and had verbal diarrhea. He did. And he said, and he would call players out. He called Morelos out in public after that cup tie. But you can't do that. Philippe Clement is a professional manager. I guarantee that behind closed doors, he is saying different things to these players. 100%. We need to get rid of players first, only for the wage bill, though. Can't keep adding to it. It's already sky high. RFC 72, I'm sure Philippe Clement has a list of players he wants rid of. And I think that we will see some change in January, and I think more so in the summer. Like I keep saying, I don't think January is a transfer window you can massively change your squad in because of the fact that it's a seller's market and sellers up their prices. Ross Clark says, if we can't pay 3 million for Shanks, why the fuck are we paying 2 million for a project player, 6 months, balmy? I says, Ross, it's just a rumour that I've heard. I'm hoping it's not true. Absolutely. Cantwell playing for himself. Clement says he will call out prima donnas. Be interesting to see what happens there. He's already called him out. Ian McLean says, don't think it's just rumours. Beale spent it all on Dessers, Lammers and Danilo. There are guys that are supposed to save us from an attack. We already, though, is woeful. Honestly, don't think everyone on the forum must be on their 3rd or 4th account. I think it's about follow. I say, I will never forgive Beale with Dessers and Lammers, especially worse we've ever had. Look, guys, tell you what, follow. Jers TV, come on the channel. Tell us why you ban people for making those comments. Come on, tell us. Tell us why. Have a pair of balls. Come and justify yourselves. First game lost without Borna. It is an interesting one, isn't it? It'd be interesting to see if Borna is fit tomorrow. I would just love to swipe the cocky smile off my brother, who's a Tim. I would love to see us better team for a change. Oh, Aldo, buddy, I feel for you. Really do feel for you. Absolutely feel for you, buddy. Why is Willie Collum, who always shit himself when he's refs, the old firm? Why would... Yeah, absolutely. 100%. He won't go to Sunderland, mate, because Sunderland don't pay fees for anyone over the age of 24. I've got a lot of mates who are Sunderland fans, and they won't do that. They got 6 months to win the league, although it's a bit costly. Loan fee, big wages. Scott, apparently we're not paying his wages. We're paying some of them, but Wolves are paying the vast majority. Balogun is suspended, so does Soapy come back in? I think he does, Jimmy. I think we will see Suter in for Balogun. Ben Davis is not fit. Leon King, he obviously doesn't have any confidence in King. So I think we will see Suter. Absolutely. George Robertson, welcome. But he says, anybody seen Todd Cantwell? Clement thinks Sterling was the best midfielder on show. Laugh my ass off. Ha. Clement in game management was a joke. Cal Mack ran the show. No penalties. And just lol. Oh dear, George. That's not a great comment, buddy. Sorry about that. I think Ross needs rested. He does need to be rested. Good to see Sterling doing well. Has been our man recently. Would like to see Devine get a run at right back with Tav push forward on the right. Warren Smith. Very interesting. Wolves are paying most of Silva's wages. That's what I said, David. Yeah, they are. Absolutely. Dessers glitches every time he's 1-1 with the goalkeeper. Nightmare. Wish Ange took Kyogo with him to Spurs. Good shout. Seema got the same eye injury that Danilo had. Oh, yeah, it was a facial injury, wasn't it? That was it. We need to stop keeping the sick, especially how brilliant order we do. Lawrence, look, I love Tom Lawrence. I think he's great, but time to go. That's what I would do. RFC 72 Lunny 2-year deal with an option of a further year is one I'm doing. Yeah, and then if the end of the first year he goes back to being the Lunny that we saw previously, we sell him. That's it. We get money for him. He doesn't walk for nothing. Interesting rumours in the papers today. Reports in the papers today about Owen Beck. And if any of you have seen this, the young left back from Liverpool has been recalled from loan at Dundee. Now, rumours going round and reports going round that apparently Rangers and Celtic are interested in him. And the reason he was recalled from loan is that Jurgen Klopp wants him to go to a higher standard. But I don't think there's any truth in that. The reason he's been recalled from Liverpool, from what I'm hearing from Liverpool podcasts, is that Kostas Simsakis, who is the backup left back, is out long term with a broken collarbone, and Robertson, who is their captain and obviously Scottish international, is out until the end of January with a injury as well. So I think he's there for cover. If he plays for Liverpool this month, he cannot return on loan to anybody but Dundee. So unless we were to go in with a bid for him, I can't see that one happening. I do think that one will not go ahead. I can't see them getting Beck on loan at this stage. The other one, of course, was Doig from Hellas Verona. Now, Hellas Verona wants €6 million for him, which is about £5.5 million. Again, if Rangers can't afford $3 million for Shankland, can't see them paying $6 million for Doig. The sin there is the fact we could have had him for $3 million when he went from Hibs to Verona. Why we didn't, I don't know. It is going to be interesting who we go for. It is a key window. Let's get to your comments and then we'll get back to a little bit of window conversation. 141 people watching. Welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation. If you've not yet subbed to the channel, please do so. Hit that like, join the channel, donate via the super chat button. Evening troops, all but Lunny to go, says Stephen. Geordie says Lundstrom, Balogun, Jack all stay. Seamer we can't afford. Billy says, when is Jack ever fit? Get him out. Pacer, who the heck is Lovelace? Zach Lovelace is a young striker at Rangers 1782. He played in the second half against, for the first half, sorry, against St Mirren, went off injured. Came from Millwall, played for Millwall when he was 15. Good striker, good striker. I wouldn't give Lundstrom a new deal. Done very well, but we need better. We can't do that by keeping what we know isn't good enough. David, interesting shout there. Half time, Liverpool 0, Newcastle 0. Jack played 11 minutes for Scotland and hasn't been seen since, and we don't know what's wrong with him. It seems to be a suspicious injury, doesn't it, RFC? Players going out of contract should be sold if someone will take them. Agree. Jack is shit, can't play 3 games in a row. Geordie says, how are the lads? Good luck today. Geordie, I'm on a difficult one there, buddy, because my youngest daughter is a Liverpool fan, so a bit of a dodgy one there, mate. Jack, Roof and Barisic can go. But I certainly admire your fans. Great fans, Guy. Amazing fans. And Geordie, I want to wish you all the best on Saturday. I hope you smash Sunderland on Saturday because Michael Beale's their manager. I hope you absolutely trounce them. Happy New Year to you too. Too many 30-plus players in the selection. Someone said Lovelace wants away. I don't know, Scott. I'll look into that one. None for me. So Williams doesn't want to keep any of those players. Did you ever notice almost every single signing Michael Beale has made, the player in question was tracked by him for practically half a decade and is literally his best friend in football? Absolutely. Absolutely. Newcastle will be the happier team at half time. Lovelace will be back soon. I think McCausland needs to go on loan to get better just for a year and then see if he can improve his skills. Interesting shout. But the boss says, Beale is someone I've been tracking for years who tried to sign him before. Funny. Tav is a defender. Why is he constantly running up the wing into the opposition box and wanting other people to do his job? Just fucking defend. Tav letting players go to the box without putting a challenge in. Ridvan did much better than Tav going forward and defending in my opinion. I didn't think that Ridvan was too bad, actually, if I'm being honest with you. I think he did okay. I think he did okay. Take away Tav's penalties and his scoring record against goals. His defending as Costas isn't great. Interesting shout, J-Mac. No one wanted Dessers, allegedly Torino, and absolutely no one wanted Lammers. We can quite assure you. It's true. Nobody wanted them. I agree with you, Derek Hutchinson. Definitely Shanks in. Lundstrom has had a good few games. People are creaming their frillies. We need to pace in the middle of the park, not a guy who's been missing for months. Tav is bipolar, scores goals but gets paid to defend. He can't defend, just like Goldson. Feels sorry for Butland, though. Agreed. Scott says Sterling will go 50 million. Got right, Sterling. Guys, Sterling's been phenomenal. I just got to say that kid, that lad, has been brilliant since he's been given his opportunity. Philippe Clement has got the best of him. For me, we found ourselves a new Calvin Bassey. We found ourselves a new central defensive midfield player. I know Bassey wasn't a central defensive midfield player, but he, for me, has to start every game from now on in. He's just been quality. He gets stuck in. He'll run through walls for the team. His distribution is good. His shooting is good. Dujon Sterling has to be one of the first names on the team sheet. So impressed with him. And tomorrow he's going to have a critical role in protecting that back four, and also linking the midfield and the defence tomorrow against Killy. Really is 100% Scott. It is really played. Funny. Dessers could have had 20 already. Absolutely. Happy to pay 4 million for Dessers, not 3 million for Shankland. I know that's ridiculous, buddy. Defo, as Cantwell, can't take a good free kick as well. Derek Kutcher says Lowry part exchange for Shankland. I must say that's something that has been talked about. Lowry plus cash for Shankland. Is Cantwell's Rangers career hanging by a thread? It is an interesting question. I think it very well could be Blue Nose John. Like I've said in the pod, I don't think he is. Punter to better, mate. You talking about my podcast or the team, buddy? How slow did Cantwell look? It looked like he was running in quicksand. Absolutely. 100% agree with you on that one. Look, this January is going to be key to what happens in the title race. Absolutely going to be key in the title race for me. We do need to sign players. We do need to bring players in. Look, I know that left back is. I think what we've got to do is we've got to sit down and look at this in terms of the fact is what is a now problem and what is a summer problem. Okay, so that's what we've got to look at. What's a now problem? What's a summer problem? And I think, look, as much as I don't rate our defence, as much as our defence gives me the shits, apart from Jack Butland, I do think the defence can probably wait till the summer because I think the bigger issue is the attack. Because we don't score enough goals. We don't take chances. And the reason we don't win games that we should be winning is because we don't take chances. Go back to Aberdeen away, 1-1. What we created, a lot of chances, didn't take them. That game on Saturday created a lot of chances, didn't take them. The Hearts game that we won 2-1 at home, again, created a lot of chances, won the game, but it was so close. Didn't need to be that close. Cantwell never got within 10 yards of McGregor. That was his job, wasn't it? Absolutely. I think we need to look at what is the issue for now. Now, for me, striker is an absolute must. Of course it is. Absolute must. Striker on a permanent deal is an absolute must. It's a non-negotiable. If this board don't go out and sign a striker, then I think there's a real problem there. We need to ask questions of the board. That is a big one for me. A big one for me. We do need that. We do need a striker. I think we need a winger as well. 100% we need a winger. We do need a winger. We do need to bring someone in who can play wide. Ross McCausland is a good player, don't get me wrong. Matondo is an impact player off the bench. We do need to bring someone in, I think, who is a starting winger. That, for me, is a now problem. Okay? That is a now problem. It's looking increasingly like, and as ridiculous as this might sound, a 10 could even be a now problem. Someone like Olaru, the Romanian international, could be a good signing in that position. Silva could even play in that 10 position. But it looks like, with the fact that Lawrence is constantly injured, with the fact that Hadji obviously isn't here anymore, Lowry's on loan, Cantwell doesn't look great. Dow can play there, but it does look like even that could be an issue, a now issue. I think attack is more of the issue at this moment in time. Scoring enough goals, putting the ball in the back of the net is a real issue for me. And I think that's something we do need to address. Look, Todd Cantwell, just going back to that point, because it's been mentioned over and over and over again in the live chat, it does need to be in a situation we look at, because he does need to raise his game. And I think someone does need to sit him down and talk to him. And I think that's probably a job for someone like Alex Ray, maybe. Alex Ray maybe needs to sit him down and talk to him. I wouldn't argue with Alex Ray. Maybe he needs to sit him down and talk to him. Hart said it will take a massive transfer fee to secure Shankland. Our bird confirmed they are aiming at zero net spend. So it looks like no deal there. Warren, if that's the case, this board need to hang their heads in bloody shame. They really do. We cannot beat Celtic. That's a massive issue for me. I hope you're right, Sid. We need the win. Never lose faith, Owen. I'm traveling up to Ibrox tomorrow. Excellent. Let's get rid of this Tim from the live chat. Guys, it's hard keeping on top of the live chat. And also, guys, can I also say, I'm looking for some mods. If you want to be a mod, let me know and I will make you a mod, because I need some mods, guys. If you don't want to do it on here, hit me up on Twitter at GRN1872 or drop me an email, glasgowrangersnation@gmail.com. Drop me an email. Loads of comments, guys. I'm struggling to keep up with them. Lovelace, right up there with Clement Street. Develop and sell us. Yeah, absolutely. He's definitely one. Who takes pens? Tav or Shankland? Ahmad Diallo. He did. Brilliant shout, RFC 72. He did cost that much. He cost them 49 million. Agreed. He didn't like Hadji, no. I think the problem with Hadji is the fact that we are guilty a little bit of rewriting history. Miovski, I think, would be a great buy in NH 1999, but can you see Aberdeen selling to us for anything less than 5 million? I can't. And if we're not going to pay 3 million for Shankland, we ain't going to pay 5 million for him. David says, when Hadji can't be recalled, David, the only way he can be recalled is if Alaveth want to end his loan. That's the only way he can be recalled. Other than that, it's the end of the season when the loan runs out. Maybe Warren, maybe, I don't know. It's a good question. I personally don't want Kent back. I think he downed tools last season. I think he didn't leave under with the best attitude. So personally, I wouldn't take him back. Lynn doesn't want Kent back. Thanks, Stuart Henderson. I was going to try and block you, Anthony Green, but my internet is rich. Thank you very much to Liz and the rest of the mods. We have got some mods. Yeah, absolutely. Cantwell reminds me of Josh Windass. Thinks he's better than he is. Good shout, buddy. Good shout. The board are to blame, though. Sanctioned all that frigging money and gave it to a rookie manager. Absolutely. True. Good point. I'll quickly flick through to your comments before we get back to what I want to talk about tonight. Philippe, you're not kidding. Beale should be in jail for crimes against football. 100%. Although he did win today, apparently. Reckon, yeah, absolutely. Would you leave Beale in charge of your FIFA? No, I wouldn't, buddy. No, I wouldn't. 100%. Supposedly, we've made contact with Hellas Verona for Doig as well, 5.5 million. I don't think we can, mate. To me, these reports about net zero spend, about no money, are really worrying me. They really are worrying me. Rosie, hey, how you doing? I'm good, mate. How are you? Happy New Year to you. We also need a change of captaincy. Philippe, I think that will be in the summer rather than now. Cantwell wouldn't be missed. Runs around like a headless chicken, gets nowhere, rarely ever scores. Absolutely. Start signing Scottish players. Absolutely. 100% agree, Pacer. Good call. Scottish players know the game. Foreign players just not. Look, I think the thing for January is you've got to kind of sign players who can hit the ground running. And that's Shankland. That's Connor Barron, another one I'd like them to look at as a centre midfield player. For me, is something we do need. Look, how would you line up tomorrow, guys? Let me know in the live chat. Let me know how you would line up tomorrow. Personally, I do think we need some rotation tomorrow. I think the players look tired. I think we do need them to get their heads straight back up after that game. They need to come out and show us something tomorrow. Personally, I would start with Butland in goal, back four, Tav, Goldson, Suter, Ridvan. I think it's got to be the same back four because there's no other options. Lunny and Sterling, I think, have got to start in front of the back four. Then you've got, I think you start Scott Wright on the right because I think McCausland needs a break. I think you start Dowell in the 10, and I think you start Matondo on the left because Seamer's not fit because there literally is no other options. And unfortunately, you do have to start Dessers up front because, like I said, what else is there out there? That's where we're at with this game. Clear out, need to get rid of the injury-prone bench warmers. Beale's no hopers. Clement needs to get his own team. We can see what the future holds under his reins. I must say I am much more positive about the future under him than I would be under Beale. He knows a player. He knows what he wants. He knows tactics. He knows how to organise a team. Absolutely. We should have taken a punt on Lewis Ferguson before he moved. We should be snapping up homegrown talent. Stuart Allison, like I said about Doig, we should have paid the 3 million for him from Hibs. Yes, Lewis Ferguson, another one we should have bought. Those two guys have been perfect for this trading model. Play them 2-3 years time, sell them on for big money. Connor Barron, for me, from Aberdeen, he's out of contract in the summer. He's someone we should be definitely looking at in this transfer window. Good player. Yes, Scott, I think you're right, and it's wrong. His priority should be Rangers. 28, yeah, we do need to get that average age down. 100%. Yeah, Scott, I see. Guys, I am struggling with this live chat today. 72, yeah, absolutely. Let's quickly just flick some of your comments up on screen, guys, so you can read them. As I talk, I'm going to flick some of your comments up on screen so people can read them on the screen. So you also obviously get a feature as well on the screen. Look, it's worrying for me that this sell first is what's going on. I really hope that this isn't true, that we've got to sell first before we buy. It needs to be a case that this board show some ambition in this transfer window and bring in some players. I really do think that is a need for that. There is definitely a need for that. 100%. Blue Nose John says, is Connor Barron coming in this month? I really hope he is. He's a quality player, Blue Nose John. I would love to see someone like Connor Barron in this window. Camel's still getting a lot of criticism in the live chat. Hoggy, that's well funny, buddy. Well funny. Tav stunk the pitch out. His odd goal doesn't excuse how shit he is. Keep Balogun, Pacer, no, I don't think so. I think he's 36, he'll be 37 next year. We need, as has been said in the live chat, to reduce the average age of this squad. The defence needs an overhaul. That, I think, can wait till the summer. We need a new left back. We need 2 new centre-halves. I want to see a Goff-esque, a Butcher-esque centre-half brought in, someone who's not going to take any crap. What worries me is that Lewis Mayo will be the man of the match tomorrow for Kilmarnock, ex-Rangers player. That worries me. Absolutely. I thought Dessers was bad, but how bad is Darwin Nunez? Yeah, he does look bad, actually. He is a bad player. Win the window, you win the league. Got to get the goal scorers in. Shankland is good, but not the only fish in the sea, says Stephen Gillespie. That's the big thing, buddy. We do need to win the window. 100%. We need to win this window. It's a massive one, The board said they're aiming for net zero spend. We won't be buying this month, and this will cost us the title race, Warren. That we could be right there. I'm hoping that's not true. I will look into that. I'm going to ask a few questions of a few people in the know. Shankland stay at heart. Hope not. I want to be a mod. Okay, Range 1870. I'll look into it, buddy. I can't do it on here. I've got to do it on Facebook, on YouTube. I will look into that. Unless one of the mods can make him a mod, of course. Don't think I'd be as good as a mod. I mean, I'd ban everyone who thinks Tav is our best player. Cantwell thinks he's big as I. True. Guys, it's been difficult tonight to keep up with this live chat. It is bouncing along at a vast rate of knots. I do apologise. If I've not brought your comments up, I do apologise. Walker says, give Hearts 3 million plus Lowry, job done. Absolutely. 100%. Scott 05. So David says on he's playing up now. Sky 5, not for players. They've already failed us, like getting rid of Lundstrom, Tav, and Goldson in the summer, asking them for back a year later. Absolutely. Tomorrow's game ain't going to be easy. It's what I've said, Scott. It ain't going to be easy. They're banging form. Derek McInnes will have them bang up for this game 100%. Lawrence Shankland, Cho Gyung-sung will be 2 striker choices, both goal scorers, both broke through in their respective national teams, both highly rated and popular. Good shout from Reece Bell, another new name. Guys, it's lovely to see so many new names in the live chat as well as obviously the familiar people who are always here for us. About time the boy Rice was given a start. I would love to see Rice get a start tomorrow night. I love Rice. I think he's a great player. I also love Rice as well. Anyway, guys. Okay, guys, coming up for the hour mark. We're going to take a break there. Guys, it's been a phenomenal. I apologise if I haven't managed to get your comment on screen. I've tried my best. It is really hard when you're trying to do this by yourself. Watch the comments. Watch what people are saying. Ban people that are not there. I do think he'll start Andy as well. Yeah, no to Morelos. My clock behind me is slow, is it? It is. Yeah, it is. It is. It's an old clock, buddy. It's an old clock. So let's hope that tomorrow. Right, guys, let's get some predictions for tomorrow. What have we got here? And the truth is, we don't know what the manager thinks of other Scottish talent. Can you put up your email regarding mod? Yeah, I will do, Andy. My email, it's on the bottom, buddy. If you look at the bottom, I'll type it into the live chat as well. At Gmail. If you want to be a mod, you need to send me your YouTube account, okay, so I can find it. Andy, the easiest way for me to do it, if you want to be a mod, is I'll come onto this afterwards and make some people mods. Absolutely. Liverpool, I've got a real chance of the league. 3-1 to us, says Hoggy. 3-1 Rangers, says David P. Dessers to score. 3-0 the Teddies, says Ian. Philippe Clement says 4-0, so even the boss is saying 4-0. I'm going 2-0 Rangers tomorrow. 2-0 goals from Scott Reitaldinho, and I'm going to go for a Dujon Sterling smash. DC says he can't moderate himself. Warren Smith says 2-1 Tav first goal. Taking Morelos back after leaving a relegated side isn't a smart move. Nowhere near up to scratch. I agree with you there. Andy says 2-1 to Rangers. Rosie McDuff says 2-0. Oh dear. I'm hoping not. Pacer says he'll be a mod. Okay, Pacer, thank you. 3-1 to Rangers. Absolutely. George McElroy, you make a great point. The damage the board have allowed Bill to do has set us back 2 seasons. Agree. DC, I would love that, buddy. That would be amazing, mate. 3-1, says RFC72. Yes, sir, I can boogie if that helps. I'm not going to sing it. Rosie says 2-1, but I think I'll stick 2-0. That's what I said, Rosie. 2-0 to Rangers. I did say that. Like I said, a Sterling smash and a Scott Reitaldinho goal. I think we'll get the goals and get the job done tomorrow, guys. We do need a win tomorrow. Look, tomorrow, it's not even open for debate tomorrow. We do need a win tomorrow. All is of the fact that we've got 2 games in hand. We've got 2 games in hand, and all that crap that keeps coming out. It only matters if we absolutely, I can't speak. If we actually win this game tomorrow, because if we lose this game tomorrow, then those 2 games in hand mean absolutely nothing, buddy. And that's the honest answer on this one. That is the honest answer to this. So I do think that is something we need to do. We do need to do that. I'll try and find out how to make you a mod at some point. Okay, guys, let's have a quick look. 3-1 to Liverpool. I'll go 3-0, says Stuart. Yeah, absolutely. Jim, where is Jim? Jim, you are a star. Thank you so much for that. Guys, it does help run the channel. Thank you so much, Jim. £10 super chat. Jim, great pod, Owen. Follow. Thank you, Jim. Absolutely. Thank you very much, buddy. Teddy Beard, Rangers posted a profit of less than 300k for all these signings. Where is most of the money coming from? Remember, the club must live within its means. Look what happened to Everton. Good point. 1-0, and it's going to be a dodgy penalty decision. Penalty to Rangers, David. Meltdown on the other side of the city. Guys, 122 people watching it. There's only 66 likes. Come on, smash that like, guys. Please smash that like. I would love it if you would smash that like. That would be brilliant if you could, guys. Please smash the like. Okay. Guys, thank you so much for all your support. Thank you for all your comments today. Let's hope VAR is used. We should play Divine. Good shout. SPL will give us 3 pens tomorrow if we drop the case. What's that? A plea bargain, Pete? A plea bargain. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your comments. Jim, thank you again for your super chats. As always, on the way out, guys, 2 things I need from you. Number 1, smash the like. Please smash the like. It helps the video to grow. It helps the channel to grow, as well as the subscribing, of course. And remember always, never forget. And for me, this is so important because this is one of the most important things in my life. Not the channel, but Rangers Football Club is, and that's sad to say, but it is one of the most important things in my life. I love this club. I love everything about this club. I love the half of the city that's ours. The city is ours, but the half especially that belongs to us. We are the people, guys. Never forget that we are the people. Come on, Rangers.